Hey everybody, today's video is going to cover some very explicit topics that I'm sure will make a lot of people very uncomfortable, including but not limited to deepfakes of the more sexually explicit kind, if you know what I'm saying. If you are against those kind of deepfakes, you know the ones I'm talking about that use people's likenesses without their consent and exploiting it for people's sick pleasures and fantasies. There is a growing movement known as My Image My Choice that is trying to raise awareness against these issues and trying to get the attention of local and nationwide lawmakers to hopefully ban these sites and stop certain people from having the freedom of putting people's faces on other people's naked bodies with no permission and getting away with it. It may look fake now, but just wait till technology catches up. This is also the same organization that ASMR was talking about whenever she covered this topic months ago. Anyways, I'm gonna link their petition as well as their website down in the pinned comment as well as in the description. And I just want to point it out that I'm not sponsored by them. I wasn't reached out by anyone of the organization. I'm just doing this out of my own heart just because for how much stuff we're going to talk about today, especially in the explicit area, and we're going to cover a lot of nasty and gross things. At the end of the day, if nothing else, I just want this video to at least do some good and hopefully be able to spread some awareness and at least move the needle slightly more into getting this stuff banned. And if you want to help out too, the option is there for you. Anyways, I'm going to shut up now and enjoy the video. All kids out the pool. All kids out the pool. It's time for CBM Productions. All kids out. Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Hopefully better than me. My mental health is kind of in the gutter right now, people, if I can be honest with you. And in a way of lifting my spirits up, I feel like talking about people that are way worse than me. This is kind of a part 2 to a video I made about a month ago as the time recording this, regarding the exploitation in various ways of Hollywood's new it girl, JENNA Ortega.
We're gonna carry on and plan the sequel, cause let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel.
In the months since I posted the video, I've gotten a lot of positive comments and feedback. And I just want to say thank you all for the positive word of mouth and honestly for making the most successful video of last year for me. Now with the new year upon us and finding some very interesting stuff on the internet that I definitely need to discuss, I feel like taking another shot at this topic and being able to cover some things I didn't really get to cover last time when discussing this topic, but doing it in a different format this time around. I'm a big fan of the iceberg deep dive type videos, and this iceberg structure is one that I'll be covering for today's video. There will be 6 tiers in total that will progressively get more explicit with how the people on the internet view JENNA Ortega. But before we do start, I will preface once again before starting this video, or at least the meat of the video, if you are sensitive to topics such as, the exploitation and a lot of very nasty comments given about a young woman in Hollywood, and the various things that I'm gonna really get into regarding that subject, then I do recommend clicking off this video now, because there are a lot of gross people on the internet and they are relentless. But yeah, I just want to put that preface out there. Also, there will be certain topics I'll be covering in this video that I won't be getting super in-depth into, mainly because I feel like I really covered them well in my previous JENNA Ortega video. So if there are certain topics that you feel like I kind of underdevelop on or feel like I should have discussed more on, most likely I already covered that more in-depthly in my other JENNA Ortega video. So I will be linking that above in the card above or in the description and possibly in the pinned comment as well down below. Anyways, without further ado, let's expose some creeps on the internet, shall we? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, here's my JENNA Ortega record player. Don't ask me why I have it, it's just fucking here. So this is the only tier in this iceberg that I don't really have to talk to my therapist about. It doesn't hurt my soul to talk about it. And that's just the good side of the JENNA Ortega fandom. People that respect her as an actress, as a person, and just want to see her do well in the industry. I do genuinely believe that JENNA is part of that line of actors and actresses like Mia Goth, Florence Pugh, Austin Butler, Timothy Chalamet, Anya Taylor-Joy, that is going to define the next era of movie stars, if they haven't already. And she deserves it wholeheartedly. And people that are able to respect her on that level and not be super obsessive over her is what the right level of fandom should be, in my opinion. Also, despite there definitely being some creepy stands out there, which we will discuss later, there are also just a lot of good, kind-hearted ones as well. I do want to shout out the account Jenna Ortega Stan Struggles on Twitter, which has been a good source to get your daily doses of Jenna Ortega memes, which never fail to take my breath away from the amount of good shit they have on there that keeps me laughing day in and day out. And that's the thing, like, accounts like theirs are making these celebrities more human, rather than like making them like these sexual, like unreachable objects you like can only desire and never actually become, or stuff like that. Accounts like these are able to ground these human beings and actually make these celebrities people and realize that they can be goofy and they can have fun. Like, celebrities are weird as fuck. They're weird. And so accounts are able to, you know, really poke fun at that and actually have a good time with not only supporting the actress, but also just having a good time with just like, you know, poking fun and just having light humor. I respect that as well. The best joke thread I've seen of her was like the whole thing like a month or so ago where like people were like making like fake quotes of her from interviews and stuff like that. That shit made me fucking die. That shit was so funny. To me, I found it amusing. We can joke about her because she does like to joke about herself as well. But also there are people out there that just like her personality and just want to see her succeed. There's also just a bunch of nice compilations about her on YouTube of her just being like the nicest and sweetest person out there and just spreading the good word about her. And even the Wednesday dance trend on TikTok and stuff like that became basically the keystone to making like the Wednesday series the most popular series on Netflix last year, besides Jenna Ortega herself. Although people will crap on people for like, you know, jumping on trends and stuff like that, it's not necessarily bad for people to, you know, do their own little spin on a trendy thing and, you know, make it their own. Like the chick that like recreated the dance underwater, or like the ice scare that recreated the dance. And people are just able to express themselves in ways that, you know, going through a popular Netflix series. It doesn't hurt anybody. I just want to say some good things about her and the fandom before I really get into some more serious topics. Which, I guess we can start now. I don't have all night. Now, this tier isn't necessarily bad. I would at least compared to what's below it on this iceberg, but it's more morally gray than anything else in my opinion. Mainly covering the paparazzi, selfies, and people that kind of treat Jenna Ortega as well as other celebrities more like statues in a museum to be, you know, curated and preserved, rather than just human beings that just decide to work in the film and TV industry. I've seen a lot of paparazzi videos of Jenna Ortega being just overwhelmed and swarmed by both fans and press, whether that being at a, you know, red carpet premiere or like at a fancy festival or whatever, or just going to hang out with friends at a steakhouse. No matter what happens, there's just dozens, if not, you know, hundreds of people that just swarm her. And a good chunk of the people that you see in these videos just kind of just treat Jenna like an object. They'll walk up without any sort of introduction, throw a phone in her face, take a photo, and just dart without saying goodbye. You know how dehumanizing that is? Just have people constantly just pull up to you with like a phone or a picture right in your face just to get a photo or an autograph and just not even have much interaction whatsoever. It's just weird to me personally. And many celebrities have come out and basically have just said, you know, they would rather just have a fan just walk up to them and just have a casual conversation with them, rather than just getting a quick photo and darting out without saying a word. Also, you can just get a quick shot of them to post on social media. It really reminds me of those people that just go to concerts just to record the entire live session, rather than just like engaging in the live music as is. Now, personally, I have not had the privilege of meeting a celebrity beyond the prestige or the level of a YouTuber like Bailey Levine or Maddie B. Raps or something like that. But if I were to meet somebody like Jenna Ortega, I would rather just have a conversation with them and actually engage with them as a human being. And you can look at these paparazzi videos that like whenever people actually just talk with Jenna Ortega as a human being, not just shoving a phone in her face, she actually really likes it when people actually talk to her and engaging with her. And she's very, very, you know, outspoken and nice whenever people actually take the time to talk to her about things.
My husband's grandfather, Jackie Coogan.
I'll do it.
No,
The original one.
and
Yeah.
we are obsessed with it. We love it so much. We love it so much. It totally has.
Instead of people that are just screaming her name, or try to guilt trip her into signing their autograph just because they've been waiting in the rain for hours, standing outside a location just to stalk her and try to like coerce her into signing your autograph to sell on eBay for God knows how much money. That's not her problem that you're obsessive.
Love you, sweetheart.
Also, on a different note, it's also very obvious in interviews that she does get uncomfortable whenever like any of the interviewers discuss the Wednesday dance or whenever like talking about the Wednesday show, primarily because the Wednesday dance is so popular now and it was really the keystone thing in making the Wednesday series so popular a few months back, and people just won't show up about the dance.
This is before it even did the dance scene.
She did that viral dance.
A fucking geek.
The dance.
Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit.
Can you show me real quick?
Oh, now we gotta go?
Doing a Wednesday dance, you whore.
Guys, she's done more than just Wednesday. Don't sleep on The Fallout. That's a good-ass movie. What I'm saying at the end of the day is that these celebrities are people, and especially somebody like Jenna Ortega, whose success essentially exploded overnight because of the Wednesday series. While she's worked in the industry for several years at this point, the amount of fame that's washed over her has been truly immense, and she's still developing as a person. While I'm not going to pretend that I know her personally, I bet for someone who's still growing up and trying to figure out who they are, and she's been open in several interviews about struggling with body images and, expectations and going to therapy and stuff like that, that stuff like this does take a toll on her sometimes. So please, if you spot her in public, don't scream her name like a goddamn banshee or some weird shit like that. That's just bad etiquette at the end of the day. Now let's get a little deeper into the trenches and discuss the more obsessive side of her fandom. There's people that make fan accounts of her, primarily accounts that really exploit anything about her to be sexualized for a quick edit for TikTok or Instagram. Like, these are the fans that I think take things a little too far into the cringy category for my liking. There's also fan fiction of her on sites like DeviantArt and Tumblr and stuff like that also take things a little too far in my opinion. Granted, if you do look it up, 90% of it is just Wednesday fan fiction, but the ones that aren't are just weird. For example, I'll just read a couple excerpts I found on Tumblr since the last video I posted because they're quite interesting. Smart is attractive. Educate me on something I don't know. The mouth of a jellyfish is also its anus. Stop. My cock is so hard right now.
What the fuck is this?
Jenna Ortega dating, whatever that means. She will likely take you with her to the set every time, to the point where you befriended everyone in the cast, including the director. If you are a fan of horror movies, you'll probably watch something like The Conjuring, Annabelle, and Slender Man on one of your movie nights. Annabelle and Slender Man? That's just shit taste. I'm sorry, but I don't think you're a true fan of Jenna because you know that she likes the Babadook because, Scream 5 told me so.
I still prefer the Babadook.
I'm just pointing it out there. If not, then you just spend most of your time hiding your face in the crook of her neck if she chose a horror movie. If you're taller than her, she'll probably take advantage of it, asking you to hand something to her on a higher shelf she can't reach. I don't think that's unique to being a fucking boyfriend, but that's fine. If you're shorter than her, let's say between 4'8" and 4'11", prepare yourself, cause she'll tease you to no end, even making you her very own armrest. But she will fight anyone who ridicules you for your height.
No one can mess with your height but her.
She would cling to you like a koala sometimes, only letting you go if you had to go to the bathroom. She'll buy you everything you want. Oh, you want a new iPhone 14 Pro Max? Consider it done, baby. You want that watch? She's already at the counter buying them for you. You're her precious and sweet darling. How could she not spoil you?
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
That sounds really toxic in my opinion, so I don't have experience in relationships, but yeah, that sounds really fucking weird. This is just, no, I'm uncomfortable. This is weird. Who made the first move? Jenna? Yeah, I did. Who has a better music taste? My music taste is better. Ha ha ha!
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm done. That was fun, wasn't it? Not for me. You see, it's just more examples of just people being odd and just overstepping boundaries. This isn't as bad as some of the lower tiers we'll talk about because it's just fan fiction at the end of the day, and I don't really feel like a lot of people really pay attention to it or take much stock in it, for lack of a better term. Also, on a different note, the unofficial merchandising of her is also very weird as well. Now, I already covered a lot about this in the previous Jenna Ortega video, so I really won't retread much here, but still. Why? Now, as bad as some of the fan accounts and fan fiction might get, the fact that professionally ran websites like to gossip on people's sexuality, especially as people as young as Jenna Ortega is, and trying to dissect their relationship status and sexuality and their personal lives, guys, it's just fucking weird. Not only does it overstep boundaries into people's personal lives that nobody really has any right to tread theories on, but also just sets a really bad precedent because I think because it's, these websites are professional, quote unquote, even big sites like TMZ and stuff like that, it's expected at this point that if you're a young celebrity in Hollywood, that this is just part of the game when playing Hollywood or being a part of the film and TV industry, that you're expected to have people who are literally going to make their entire earnings and livings off of just picking apart every single aspect of your life to the point where it just becomes really, really uncomfortable. The thing that makes this worse than like fan fiction, like fan accounts and stuff like that, is that this is actually run by adults. Like professional adults that have a fully developed brain that consciously decide to make their livings off of, earning off of people's gossip. And you can also to a certain extent throw paparazzi under here as well. Versus all like the fan accounts and like the fan fiction stuff that's basically made by like tweens and stuff like that. It's just really gross when people are trying to like make a mold out of you and try to make an image of who you are with very little fact or connections between who you actually are, but trying to spin a story to get more clicks and more likes with a bigger thumbnail or a bigger headline that will like draw people more attention to stuff that most likely isn't real about you. Versus all the fan fiction stuff like that, that's basically just white noise. These adults prey on people like Jenna Ortega to gossip about private details that people should not care about. Why should I care if Jenna is straight or gay or single or taken? It's not like I have a shot with her anytime soon. So these gossip posts about her sexual orientation and stuff like that just makes the online discourse about her just infinitely worse because of that. But you know what's worse? Okay, let's just rip the band-aid off here. This is mainly the tier where we're going to discuss the vast majority of the sexual content online regarding Jenna Ortega. A lot of the stuff that she didn't consent to, by the way, that I feel like not enough people are covering or talking about. There are certain compilations of her on TikTok where they have hot pics of her, and there are select photos in these compilations that have her when she's clearly underage. Like, guys, do the math here. Of course, Reddit has its toes deep in this issue. Literally. There's also a section on the celebrity feet website I discovered while researching for this video where it's just constant pictures of her with their toes out and stuff like that. Like, people, I'm not one to kink shame people that are into feet and stuff like that, but I'm not envious of y'all either, if I can be honest. Now, going back to Reddit, this is where I see a lot of the explicit stuff on here, both this video and the previous Jenna Ortega video. I talked about the posts, the comments, the tributes, in quotation marks. The usual. I also made the mistake of looking her up on Rule 34. After seeing what I saw, I want to put the nearest gun in my mouth. Just don't look her up, people. Please don't. There's, of course, YouTube FAP challenges of her.
Jenna Ortega is so hot.
It's not fun. Last but certainly not least is the deepfake porn stuff. Now, I did cover this last time, but it's also very easily accessible, and although most of it does look fake, there are certain angles from researching this video which it does genuinely kind of look real, and that's what's really terrifying about it. I hate the fact that she is one of the many people online and also offline as well that suffer from this issue, not just celebrities, not even just women as well. That certain people will use their technology to make their deepest desires imaginable, and it comes to the cost of a lot of people's safety and a lot of people's insecurity as a result. Deepfake porn like this should honestly be banned. It's a horrible thing. If you want to have your Jenna Ortega fantasy, find a porn star that looks like her on some porn site or whatever. Don't go out of your way to Photoshop her face on someone else's naked body. Also, I did forget to mention a couple things when discussing this topic last time I talked about it in the other Jenna Ortega video, but deepfake porn like this is extremely dangerous and very harmful. So much deepfake porn has been, branded as revenge porn because people will use it to blackmail people and threaten them, and that's just a horrible thing in of itself, but also just the mental toll it takes on somebody knowing that this stuff is easily accessible, and honestly just one Google search away from someone finding naked pictures of you that you didn't even create or send out. And whether it's a celebrity or a YouTuber or influencer or just some random woman down the streets, I bet no one really feels good about porn being made without their consents. And also just imagine being somebody like a family member or a friend of Jenna Ortega's, knowing that this stuff is out there and coming across this type of stuff. I would hate to be in that situation. So please, if you can, hit up My Body, My Choice so we can get the word spread out about this. But out of all the topics I've covered for today's video, there is one more thing that we need to discuss. And it's bad.
Who wants chowder?
Okay, people, so here we are, the last tier, bottom of the iceberg. Well below the bottom of the iceberg, probably with the Titanic, probably below the Titanic. Honestly, I think it's gonna be like the core of the earth. We're below the crust. This is bad, people. This is bad. I am not It's gonna get a little crazy, people. I'm not gonna lie. My candor might be a little unhinged for this section of the video because I'm gonna go off quite a bit. So, to give a little context, I found this thing on my Instagram feed as like a meme thing that someone dropped on a meme page or whatever.
What the hell?
And I had to figure this out. I had to examine this certain Twitter thread that came across my feed. I was like, ain't no way someone actually had the balls and the lack of just social consciousness to post this type of stuff. I'm just gonna get into it. So there's a thread by, I'm not gonna give away the Twitter user just because I don't want to give this guy credit or any sort of fame. If you want to look it up, that's your choice, but I'm not gonna be the guy that, you know, catapults that. A certain Twitter user on the 1st of the new year decided to make a Twitter thread by Jenna Ortega called Examining God's Wonderful Creation, Jenna Ortega. So that definitely enticed me to check out this Twitter thread, and let me tell you people, it is genuinely, without a doubt, the most abhorrent, disgusting, repulsive thing that I've ever read over the course of being on Twitter and reading anything on that site, which is saying a lot if you've been on Twitter for more than, I don't know, 2 months. So yeah, it's quite a lot. So we're gonna break this down sincerely. We're gonna break everything, every line of dialogue, every line, word spoken or written, I should say, in this thread, because my God, Christ on the cracker, is this some of the most abhorrent shit that I've ever had the displeasure of reading for a YouTube video or as a human being in general. So we're just gonna jump into this. We're gonna jump into this, skinny dip in this bitch, because it is okay. Let's just jump into this. So first one, face. Oh yeah, also by the way, this guy also is examining Jenna Ortega's body, literally head to toe, down to the 9, like a fucking autopsy report, like a goddamn fucked up game of Operation. Just to preface that for context, but anyways, face. Imagine nutting on this piece of meat of a human. She's not sucking my D, I'm effing her face. Kevin Gates style. Use my cum as hair conditioner for her perfect hair. She needs to drop a I can't say, I don't want to say I really feel comfortable saying that in this context. She needs to drop a pocket of herself. God was horny when he made Jenna. How do you know God's not a woman or genderless? I get that's a nitpick. And honestly, I'm agnostic, so I don't really give much of a shit. But still, like, you don't know if God's a woman or not. So stop genderfying people that may or may not be real. Okay, anyways. Boobs. She wears a 32B bra, produces the best skim milk out of her tits. Motherfucker, I got the calcium chart. Motherfucker, I got the skim milk. Like, motherfucker, you don't know if this shit's like 2% or fucking 1% or whole milk. Get the fuck out here, motherfucker. Not breastfeeding. Get the fuck out. She can feed the entire country of America with those titties. I'm peeling the skin off her titties if I'm horny enough. Motherfucker sounds like Army Hammer, but that's just my opinion. And uses a Photoshop image of Jenna Ortega as to preface this. Ass. Jenna Ortega got a tight little ass. Someone needs to step up and take her anal virginity for real. Her farts smell like pumpkin spice and cinnamon. What in the fucking Vanellope Von Schweetz Wreck-It Ralph Kenny Crush looking ass you talking about, motherfucker? What the fuck abhorrent dissecting shit is this? Motherfucker went to a Starbucks and was like, I'm gonna name every single flavor of her fart smells. Get the fuck. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna wait till rant until after this is done. She's not taking a full BBC. She needs to be blacked, rabbit, or whatever that means. I'm not, and who cares? Pussy. If her ass tight, you know her pee tight for real. It get wet on dry. She got the innocent pee. Low-key make a brother want to pull an SSG Kobe. Which for context, people, if you don't understand,
I am shooketh.
Yeah, so. It gets better, right? No, it doesn't. It doesn't get better. Queefing loud as fuck, and her backshot air smells like that new shoe smell. What's with her fucking farts, dude? What the hell is this? Again, I'm not here to king shame, but what the fuck? What the fuck? Here's the last one. Feet. I'm sucking the flavor out of her toes. Sucking her toes will have a brother on cloud 9. I'm using her toe jam as toothpaste and her toenail as a toothpick. Hope she degrades me while I lick the dirt from the bottom of her feet. Slave style. Conclusion. So yeah, motherfucker got the fucking college thesis First thread of the year on the first day of the year. Thanks y'all for letting me cook all year. Threads are coming unexpectedly more this year. Like, retweet, and follow for more body threads. Cooking up threads is my specialty. And then this wonderful piece of a human being decides to end off his thread by tagging a bunch of people, one of them being Jenna Ortega herself. Oh. Because why the fuck not, right? Why the hell not? Okay, so I got a lot of thoughts on this. So yeah, this is where we're getting a little mad. We're gonna take the glasses off. I'm gonna put it on the pool table. Little frustrated. Okay. First off, motherfucker, right? Let's talk about this. Cooking what? What the fuck are you cooking, motherfucker? Like, if you were a chef, you were cooking the most rancid, expired fucking food I've ever tasted in my entire life. Motherfucker got the chum bucket certification of bullshit right here. He's cooking on a stove with no fucking burner. He is cooking meat that's been fucking dilapidated. I hope this motherfucker doesn't hope goddamn Thanksgiving, because I would get salmonella poisoning with him cooking the goddamn turkey. Like, I'm sorry, are you the head chef of a fucking Arby's with your terrible tasting ass?
Arby's. Let me fucking heart stop!
Wow, it's actually quite bad.
That's what I'm fucking think. You ain't cooking shit that isn't fucking edible of any fucking stretch of the imagination. So let's cross that off the fucking list with your fucking body examination report like a fucking autopsy. Get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. Second off, right? This dude is down so badly. So abhorrently badly. Like a motherfucking, like, sorry, I'm getting a little frustrated with this Cornelius ass motherfucker, right? So let's talk about this. Dude's so horribly down bad over a woman that he's never gonna meet in his entire life. And it's not even like I get most people have fantasies, like they want to make out with Jenna Ortega and shit like that, but the absolute limits of this motherfucker, he broke the goddamn record. He broke through the goddamn matrix to do some of the most abhorrently written shit I have ever had the displeasure of reading. Like, dude's talking about how her fucking backshot fart smells and how he's gonna use her fucking toe jam as a toothpaste. Like, this dude is not like intoxicated, I would bet, in any sort of way. He planned out this shit. He got the Kevin Feige hat right now and planned every single piece of her body like a fucking fillet. He got the smorgasbord of eating that shit. That's what he's fucking cooking right now. A bullshit ass plan. Like, not even Ghostface would come up with something more demented. Like, the fact that I've seen Jenna Ortega, it's a movie, I know, but seeing Jenna Ortega getting fucking beat to a pulp by Ghostface, breaking a fucking ankle and all that shit, it's not the worst thing I've seen of her or been written in her name. That's a bad fucking sign. And the fact that in Twitter, of all places, and luckily, this is good, thank you Elon, I guess, I don't know, banned all this shit, because every single one of these things violated the terms on Twitter. Do you understand that, how bad that fucking is? What the fuck? Not to mention the fact this motherfucker, like, half of the photos he used of Jenna Ortega's are like fucking photoshopped as well, so it's not even like an accurate description. Also, what's the fuck with like the 32B shit? Like, I'm sorry, like, this dude's like trying to discover her bra size. Like, you are not a goddamn scholar in this shit. And I don't really like the, you know, the rape suggestion as well. And also, the dude's so bad he's ready to rape somebody. That's great as well. That's ugh. It's just like, there are people like this out there that are willing to say this shit, and there's no ramifications. Sure, you can get it blocked on Twitter or whatever, but it's not like this motherfucker's getting any sort of goddamn, like, you know, charges brought upon him. Like, this is so, like, I get freedom of speech, but people, you gotta have a limit. There has to be a social cue. Like, is your brain not developed? Like, you have to understand, like, this is a human being. What the fuck? It's just out there. Luckily, people, like, you know, most people that I've seen respond to this have been pretty, you know, reasonable about this and how horrible it fucking is. There are a couple people that, like, talk about it in a weird way. Like, there's, like, one guy that I saw responding to it being like, you know, this guy's just saying what we're all thinking. Motherfucker, I'm not thinking about her fart smells. I ain't driving to work being like, man, I bet her farts smell like fucking cinnamon and apple cider. Get the fuck out, you motherfucker. Like, again, I'm not here to king shame, but what the fuck? How do you sleep at night? Like, how the fuck do you just say this abhorrent shit and just have a fucking conclusion and just go, oh, everyone, I'm going by. More to come for the new year. Get the fuck out. Oh my god, Cornelius, corny on the cob motherfucker. It's just like, The lack of social empathy is insane. The lack of a social consciousness. Motherfucker got lobotomized with the amount of just lack of brain knowledge, lack of fucking, I can't even speak right now. What the fuck? My brain is fried. I'm running on gas fumes right now with the amount of just bullshit I just had to read. Like what the fuck? Like, if I were a professor and this was like a thesis or whatever the fuck, this motherfucker wouldn't even be on the grading scale. I just throw the shit in the trash and fucking burn it. And get this fucker expelled and call me fucking cheated off of another student or some shit. What the fuck? This is what you do? This is what you fucking do? Like, this is what people have got too much time on their hands to do shit like this, people. This woman is a young woman. And you think that this shit doesn't keep her up at night? What the fuck? And what does motherfucker say? Imagine nutting on this piece of meat of a human. What the fuck are you talking about? Meats. Processed meats. This dude views this woman as nothing more than a slab of meats that he can exploit. This dude examined this woman's body as best as he could of all 57 different ways he can poke his dick inside this woman without realizing that she's a human being at the end of the day. The amounts of just weird exploitation like this genuinely made my jaw drop. Like, I genuinely was just like shocked at the abhorrent levels of chicanery, to quote Better Call Saul, that I saw in this Twitter thread. My God, people, what have we come to? What have we been building up to as a species? The amount of fucking exploration, the amount of things that we've done as a species and built to this shit. Alright? Gandhi didn't die for this shit to happen. MLK didn't die for this shit to happen. What the fuck, people? Alright. My brain is mentally fucked right now. Let's just end the video. So in conclusion, don't exploit the success of a young woman in Hollywood. I know that's a lesson not a whole lot of people need to learn, but if you've seen from the evidence I've shown in this video, there are people that just lack the social consciousness and the cues to understand that it's a bad thing. Because some people have too much time on their hands and will say whatever they want because they can just hide behind a username and have no ramifications because of that. I just want to say, I know this video makes it seem like the vast majority of people that follow Jenna Ortega are creeps like this that will make really horrible threats about her. But at the end of the day, the people I'm talking about in this video are a very small minority, and there are a lot of people out there that generally do think that Jenna Ortega is a great person and just treat her with respect and want to see her succeed. That see her more than just an object just to get all their sexual frustration out on. And if you are somebody that does suffer from sexual frustration and stuff like that, realize that life is more than just sexual pleasure. And as a society, we gotta stop being so fucking horny and creepy all the damn time. It just makes everyone suffer as a result, and we just have to have less of this in our society. Anyways, that's all I gotta say for today. If you enjoyed this video, you'll know what to do to keep the algorithm up on this video. Like, share, subscribe. You can, follow my Instagram. I'll tag it up on the, card above or in the description or the pinned comment or whatever. All that fun stuff. And before I leave, I just want to say one last thing. Please, touch some grass. Take time off of social media at least once a day. And please don't be overly obsessive over someone's success. Focus on yourself. Anyways, peace out.